Fellow XRP holders, welcome back to the live chart because what we're seeing right now is not normal market noise. This is a pressure buildup, a coil tightening, the calm right before the real movement hits. XRP is trading inside a highly reactive zone where liquidity is shifting fast, and every single candle is telling a story of buyers trying to regain momentum while sellers are desperately trying to hold their line. Right now, XRP is flirting with a breakout structure, a zone where historically we've seen sharp 7% to 12% moves within hours once momentum kicks in. And today the chart is again showing that same tightening squeeze. Look closely at the wick behavior. Buyers are stepping in instantly every time price dips, meaning we're not only seeing support, we're seeing aggressive absorption, the kind that usually precedes an explosive reversal. The RSI is showing early divergence. Volume is ticking up and liquidity pockets above current levels are extremely thin, meaning if XRP breaks above the intraday resistance, it could slice through the next zones like butter. And yes, the market right now is unstable because Bitcoin's micro pullbacks are shaking weak hands, but XRP is holding stronger relative to BTC dominance, which is a sign that smart money accumulation is creeping in. Keep your eyes on the 4-hour structure. We're still inside a bullish continuation pattern, and if this holds, XRP can easily push into the next range and retest that psychological barrier traders have been waiting for. But let's be real, we're not out of danger yet. This market is still in a fight, and XRP is at the center of it. If buyers fail to maintain this zone, we could see a quick liquidity grab below support before the real run begins. That's the kind of manipulation whales use to shake out late entries. And we have seen this playbook again and again during accumulation phases. Watch the EMAs. They are converging tightly. And every time XRP has seen this exact compression in 2023, 2024, and even earlier this year, a breakout followed within 24 to 48 hours. Market sentiment across the board is turning cautiously bullish, and social volume is rising again, which always precedes bigger moves. Whether the breakout happens this session or the next, the setup is forming right in front of us. This is not random price action. This is structural pressure, building for something bigger. If volume spikes through the key breakout level, expect XRP to fire toward the upper resistance band rapidly. Until then, stay sharp, stay focused, and keep watching the live chart because XRP is preparing for a move. And when it goes, it won't wait for anyone. Dot picks up right where the live chart action left off, diving deeper into the momentum shift happening in real time, because what XRP is showing right now is something we haven't seen in weeks, a controlled, calculated build of bullish pressure that is beginning to override the hesitation seen earlier in the market. As we move into this second phase of analysis, you can literally see how market psychology is shifting candle by candle. Buyers are no longer reacting, they're initiating. This is the moment in every chart cycle where true accumulation becomes obvious, not from one massive candle, but from the consistent, persistent absorption of sell pressure at key liquidity zones. Look at how XRP is refusing to break down despite broader market uncertainty. That alone signals strength. The 4H structure is holding with surprising stability, and the moving averages are beginning to fan outward just slightly, showing that early trend development is underway. And if the market continues respecting this dynamic support cluster, XRP can move into a higher trend channel faster than many traders expect. You can almost feel the tension now as order books start tightening. Every dip is being bought instantly, and that kind of behavior only happens when smart money understands that the downside risk is decreasing while upside potential is expanding. Liquidity is thinning above current price, a clear green flag. If the next breakout candle carries enough volume, the move will not be slow or steady. It will be sharp, aggressive, and decisive. And here's the key. XRP is forming what looks like a hidden bullish divergence on multiple timeframes, which is extremely rare to see as cleanly as it is appearing right now. This is the exact kind of pattern that has led to explosive upside swings in the past, especially when the RSI bottoms out while price stabilizes. Traders who understand this setup know that a major shift is coming, whether in hours or in the next session. Market sentiment online is already heating up with social spikes marking the early footprints of crowd attention returning to XRP, and that aligns perfectly with the technical signals now forming on the chart. Zooming into the 1 hour and 30-minute candles, you can see the compression forming into an apex point. This is a textbook volatility squeeze, and historically, XRP never stays inside this tighter range for long. Volatility indicators are at the bottom, which means the next expansion phase is overdue. And if price breaks upward, short sellers will be forced to close their positions rapidly, fueling an even bigger breakout candle. One of the strongest signals right now is the way XRP is testing resistance lines with increasing frequency. Every time price taps that zone, it weakens it. Think of resistance like a wall. The more you hit it, the more cracks appear until finally it breaks. Buyers are intentionally applying pressure, showing that the market is preparing to break out of this box. Whales have been quietly accumulating as well, visible in the form of large hidden bid walls soaking up liquidity while retail traders hesitate. This is the kind of slow strategic buildup that leads to sudden vertical moves. But here's the part most people overlook. The macro narrative is shifting. News sentiment is improving. Trader confidence is rising, and open interest is climbing without reckless leverage, all bullish signs. When open interest rises gradually with stable funding rates, it means the market is positioning for a move without leaning too heavily in one direction, which sets the stage for a healthy breakout. XRP's larger multi-week structure still shows a strong upward curve if price manages to break key resistance levels, and the breakout targets remain wide open above this zone. There's an unfilled liquidity pocket higher up that could be taken in one single move. Every indicator, from EMA alignment to MACD convergence, is signaling a transition phase. This is the moment in step 2 where believers start preparing, non-believers start doubting, and smart traders start anticipating. XRP is not giving signs of weakness. Instead, it's quietly building a base layer of stability that usually precedes large-scale movement the market hasn't seen. XRP, this calm, this controlled, and this structurally ready in a long time. If you're watching this live, the next few hours are crucial. A breakout candle above the resistance zone could trigger one of the cleanest pushes in recent sessions. But even if XRP pulls back slightly before the breakout, that's normal. That's the market grabbing liquidity before launching. What matters is that the structure remains intact. And right now, all signs point toward a continuation phase rather than a reversal. Stay locked in because it's where everything comes together. The buildup, the compression, the hidden signals, the order book shifts, and now XRP is entering that final stage where the market stops whispering and starts shouting. This is the moment where traders who understood the earlier signals position themselves for what could be one of the most decisive moves XRP has attempted in days. As we step into this final phase, look at what the chart is doing. XRP is hovering just below the breakout line, almost magnetized toward it, testing it again and again with increasing aggression. This kind of repeated pressure isn't random. It's engineered by demand overpowering supply. You can literally see support levels rising beneath the price like a staircase, each higher low locking in stronger bullish intent. These rising floors show buyers tightening their grip, minimizing downside exposure, and gradually compressing XRP into an upside slingshot. When you see a structure like this, you know momentum is no longer neutral. It's loading. The market's entire rhythm has changed. Volume is no longer inconsistent. It's now patterned, pulsing in waves that match each push upward, signaling coordinated accumulation. The EMAs on multiple time frames are aligning into a near perfect bullish curvature. And historically, every time XRP aligned these moving averages this cleanly, a multi-range breakout followed. And here's the most powerful signal. Volatility is beginning to expand from its lowest levels, meaning the squeeze phase is ending. XRP does not stay quiet when volatility returns. It moves fast, sharp, and purposefully. You'll notice the liquidity maps above resistance are incredibly thin, almost non-existent, which means once XRP clears that barrier, there isn't much friction stopping it from accelerating rapidly. And this isn't speculation. This is visible structural truth on the chart. The order book shows major sell walls weakening, thinning out, and dissolving as buyers continue to step up. When the largest market participants stop defending resistance, the breakout becomes almost inevitable. At the same time, market psychology is heating up, fear is fading, and curiosity is rising. Traders who ignored XRP last week are suddenly watching it again. Social volume is increasing, online chatter has doubled, and attention always brings liquidity. That is how big moves begin. Quietly at first, then suddenly all at once. And XRP is sitting right at that tipping point where one decisive candle can flip the entire sentiment from cautious to euphoric. MACD is tightening. Histogram bars are shifting toward the positive zone, and RSI is forming one of the cleanest upward curls we've seen in this structure so far, all pointing to an incoming impulse. This is not a distribution zone. This is textbook late stage accumulation, the kind of formation markets build when they are preparing to launch. Zoom in on the micro patterns and you'll see even more. Tiny bullish flags forming on the intraday chart, micro consolidations right under resistance, both classic signals that buyers are staging for a breakout attempt. XRP is showing the kind of price action where the market is deliberately suppressing downward volatility, letting pressure build like a coiled spring. If you see a small liquidity grab below support before the breakout, don't be surprised. That's the final shakeout move to trap shorts and remove weak long positions before the real expansion begins. Historically, XRP uses this exact pattern before explosive rallies, compression, fake dip, breakout, acceleration. And right now we're deep inside that same cycle. But the real magic here is happening on the higher time frame. The 4H shows a clear bullish continuation structure with a perfectly intact range pattern. The daily shows a narrowing channel that is inches away from breaking, and the weekly shows the broader uptrend still alive, still breathing, still preparing for its next phase. When multiple time frames synchronize like this, lower, mid, and higher time frames, the resulting move is almost always powerful. This isn't just a scalp setup, it's a full-scale positional build. That's why whales have been loading quietly while retail hesitated. They see the bigger structure forming. So what happens next? If XRP breaks above the current resistance with genuine volume, it will likely accelerate into the next liquidity zone almost instantly. That zone could trigger a rapid move toward a higher range where XRP can begin its next major battle. You'll recognize the breakout when it happens. The candle will be long, clean, and confident. No hesitation, no indecision. And once that candle prints, the chase begins. Shorts get liquidated, sideline traders FOMO in, and momentum takes over. If volume sustains after the breakout, XRP can even form a new midterm trend that finally breaks the monotony of consolidation. These are the moments traders wait for. Not the noise, not the sideways chop, but the burst of energy that resets the entire narrative. But let's also stay disciplined. If XRP fails the breakout attempt, expect a retest of the lower consolidation band. As long as the rising support structure remains intact, the bullish thesis stays alive. The only real danger comes if XRP loses that structural support with heavy selling volume. But so far, the chart shows zero signs of structural weakness. Buyers are in control, liquidity favors upside expansion, and market rhythm is aligned for continuation. Step 3 closes with this. XRP is not just moving randomly, it's preparing. The chart is tightening, the signals are aligning, and the momentum is shifting. Whether the breakout hits today or in the next session, the setup is official, the groundwork is complete, and the market is primed. Stay locked in, stay focused, and be ready, because when XRP moves, it doesn't send an invitation. It just goes.